Make finally decided to show up to the AI agent space by launching their own AI agents. You can find it over here on the left-hand side. It's currently still in beta. Today, I want to show you guys a really simple and practical example for using these guys. This is what our main scenario is going to look like. It's just two parts. This is the Make AI agent that we're running. Now, this webhook is getting responses from a simple contact form. These contact forms can be found on websites all over the internet, right? Whenever a business has a contact us section, they might have a simple contact form that has name, email, and question or comment where customers or leads can leave a question or comment, right? So we want to automatically handle most of these questions and or comments automatically using an AI agent. So our AI agent is going to analyze the question and or comment, so the inquiry sent in from this contact form, and it's going to determine if it has enough information based on the provided knowledge base that we give it, which in this case is going to be a simple frequently asked questions document that it's going to pull from. And if there's enough information to answer the inquiry, it's going to send them an email automatically responding and taking care of it. If there's not enough information, we're still going to send the email or send an email to the person who sent in that contact form saying, hey, we got your message. We notified a team internally. They're going to be reaching out to you as soon as possible. And then we're also going to be sending an email to our team internally to notify them saying, hey, you need to respond to this ASAP. Now you can build out a whole workflow like this already in make.com or in N8N. I'm just showing you how we can utilize the AI agents feature to do this. So getting right into it, if you log into make.com, go over here to the left-hand side, you can click into the AI agents section and you can click create agent, which will take you to a screen that looks like this. Now you need to give your AI agents a brain. For that, you need to connect to your AI provider. In my case, I like to use OpenAI, but you can choose from a list of other providers right here. I already have my AI or my connection to the OpenAI API, so I'm gonna go ahead and use this. You can go ahead and select the model that you wish to use with your AI provider. Now, one thing I wanna note for you guys when building out AI agents, I learned this from OpenAI's Practical Guide to Building Agents. So this is a 34-page PDF. I read through it entirely. And one of the things that stood out to me is when you're building out these agents, you want to start off with a model that's more than capable for your use case. Now, once you have that all built out, then you can select a cheaper model and see if you are getting the same consistent results without sacrificing on quality. But you want to start out with a more than capable model at first and then scale back in the end. You don't want to start the other way around right off the bat with a really cheap model. And then you need to give your AI agent a system prompt. And I'm going to dive into that really quick with you right now. Once you hit save, it'll take you to a screen that looks like this where you can further, build out your system prompt. It doesn't need to be perfect to start off with. I like the bigger window. So I go ahead and just type in like one sentence, hit save, and it'll take you to a screen like this, and then I can build out the system prompt even further. That's just me. Now for the perfect AI agent instructions, I followed this 7-step format. So first I want to give it an identity. This is just giving the agent a very clear role. Second is the mission, so stating very clearly what success looks like. Number 3 is behavior rules such as tone, style, and limits. Number 4 is the tools list and usage rules. So what tools the agent can use, when, and how to use them. Number 5 is a step-by-step task flow. So break down what to do in order, kind of like a checklist. Number 6 is edge case handling, so what to do when things go wrong or when things go weird. And then last but not least, number 7, hard rules and don'ts. These are non-negotiable things that the agent must not do. And by following this format, I came up with this set of instructions right here. So you are a customer service agent for Automate What, tasked with helping customers who submit inquiries through our contact form. Your goal is to respond to customer inquiries using only approved FAQ content, and then I go on. I'm setting the behavior rules right here, so always use a warm and empathetic tone, be professional and helpful, format all emails in HTML, and all emails to customers with the signature, best regards, AW customer service team, and I just list off a few more. The tools list right here, the tools and usage rules, this is really important and we'll get into this in just a sec. So I'm listing the tools. These are separate scenarios that you see down here. So system tools, these are just make.com has it laid out as separate scenarios that this AI agent can trigger and execute and then pull information out of. So we have notify team of customer inquiry, send email to customer, and get FAQs. These are, again, separate scenarios that look like this. So this is the get FAQ scenario, send email to customer, and notify team of customer inquiry. These are all used as tools, right? Tools inside of our Make AI agent. I'm listing all of those out and their use cases, how to use them, when to use them. The step-by-step task flow, this is really important. Remember, it's kind of like a checklist. So number one, start here, right? So for all new form submissions, number one, review the customer's inquiry. Number two, search the FAQs found in the Get FAQs tool. Number three, if an appropriate answer is found, do the following, right? And then number four, if an appropriate answer is not found, do the following. Edge case handling, again, what to do when things go wrong or weird, and then hard rules and don'ts. I'm just listing all those out right there. If you guys want this whole prompt right here, I'll have it available in the resources. Any resource, link, template, blueprint files, whatever it is that I mentioned throughout this video can be found over in my communities. You'll want to make sure that you go ahead and hit save right here. Now, make.com, it's still in beta, but in the future, they said, I reached out to them and they said in the coming weeks, right? So I'm making this video on May 6th, but in the coming weeks, if that's true, they should have a new section. So like a third section right here in between system prompt and system tools, which is called the context section. They had it previously, they rolled it out for a bit. I made a couple videos and then they took it away. So I'm remaking this. And you can see I already have it built out. So in the coming weeks, they're going to have that context section where you can upload your own documents and files and knowledge base that the agent can pull from. That way you don't even need to use operations and execute these kinds of tools right here, such as Get FAQs, because you're going to be able to just upload all of the context right there in the context section, which is going to be very nice. But for now, we need to execute this Get FAQs and visit a Google document to get the contents, which looks like this. It's just a really simple FAQ sheet right here. Now, what I like to do is I like to create a separate folder called AI Agent Tools-Demo, right? That's just me. This helps me stay organized. I can store all of my tools or my scenarios that I can use as tools for my Make AI agents right here. I have a Google form already connected to an app script right here. You can see, let me load that for you guys. I have this app script connected to my Google form, so anytime someone submits the form, it fires this webhook in make.com immediately. If you guys want this script right here, you can hop over into the AWA, so Automate What Academy. Again, this is my free community. Go into the classroom, you can go into free resources, and you can find it right here, along with the perfect AI agent instructions format right here that you see, this guy right here. I've got the webhook all configured to that Google form, and then you just need to add this Make AI Agents, run an agent module right here, and I'll show you how I have this configured right here. So from the drop-down list right here, you can select from the list of AI agents that you have created, and then the system tools will show up right here. I configured that in the previous configuration window right here, system tools. Now, let me explain this to you guys. If you want to use this AI agent in separate scenarios, but in those specific scenarios, you want to add additional tools, but only for that specific scenario, you can do that right here by adding additional tools and also adding additional system instructions on top of the system tools and the system prompt already available right here, right? So these are just in addition to this guy right here and these tools right here for that specific scenario. Thread ID I'll go over in a different video. As for the message, I'm just adding, you received a new message from the customer. Here are the details with their name, email, and the inquiry basically. One thing to note is that if your scenario or your AI agent, if you expect it to run more than 3 minutes, you're gonna want to toggle this onto yes, and then at the very end, it's gonna submit the response to a webhook. If not, which for this case, we don't need, then just leave it as no, and it will run, do its thing, and then output all entirely in this whole scenario, if that makes sense. If you want to go back to the configuration window for this specific agent, then you can just go right here, hit configuration, and it'll take you back to the configuration window right here. Let me show you the 3 tools or the 3 scenarios that we're going to use for this AI agent to access. So starting off with Get FAQs, I'm starting off with the Google Docs, Get Content from a Document module right here. This is how I have it configured, right? I just mapped the document ID. That's all for the Google Doc. And then I'm adding this scenario's return output module right here. And I'm nesting in the text content variable inside of this guy right here, which I created. So AW FAQs. This down here, this is how you use this module right here. So return output for the scenario outputs. Down here on the bottom row right here, you can go to scenario inputs and outputs. Go over to outputs because we don't have any inputs. We don't need that for this use case, but I'll show you in the other 2 tools, we're actually going to use some scenario inputs. Scenario outputs, you just add an item right here, give it a name, description, and then choose what type it is, any of those guys. We're just going to leave it as text. So you can see right here, I have AW_FAQs, description, frequently asked questions for automate what, and then I just leave the text as is and then hit save, and it'll show up right here. If I add another scenario output, I'll see that right here as well. Now, probably the most important thing when you're building out these tools or these scenarios that your AI agent is going to use, the scheduling needs to be on demand. So by default, it's 15 minutes or every 15 minutes at regular intervals. You're going to need to change that to on demand, hit save, and turn on this scenario. That way, the AI agent can trigger and execute this scenario and get the information that it needs. The next one is send an email to customer. So let me show you how I have that configured. Right here in scenario inputs and outputs, this is how I have everything configured. We're only doing scenario inputs. So I have the customer email, customer underscore email. This is the customer's email address. And then the email subject and the email content right here. And that's just the content of the email. Obviously, these are pretty self-explanatory, right? Email subject is just the subject of the email in response to the customer. Now, I added the send an email Gmail module right here. So you can see I already made my connection, and this is where we're mapping in those scenario inputs. Now, you might need to hit save and then refresh your scenario so that you can actually find these scenario inputs. Sometimes you need to do this. I'll show you where you can find those right here. So for the customer email, for the to email address field, you're going over here to custom and system variables, and you'll be able to see these kind of light blue variables appear right there. If you don't see those, that's why I'm saying you need to refresh, and then you should be able to find them. So we're just mapping those in: customer email subject, and then email content. Hitting save, that's all we have to do. Oh, and then on top of that, you need to switch this to on demand and toggle it on. Hit save, always hit save. The next tool that I created is just another one operation tool, I guess. So notify AW team, this is for internal emails. Right? I'm just using the send an email module. This is how I have it configured. I'm hard coding in these two things. So my email address, mason@automatewhat.com, and then the subject as new customer inquiry, respond ASAP, right? These are for notifications whenever there's not enough FAQ, or whenever the inquiry doesn't have, or the AI agent doesn't have enough knowledge to pull from the FAQs to accurately or adequately respond to the inquiry, to the customer, to the lead, whoever, then we're getting an internal notification saying, hey, this requires a human, basically. So the content is just the email content. For the scenario inputs, this is how I have that: email underscore content, the content of the email, really self-explanatory. No scenario outputs. And then, I'm turning that onto on demand, and you're good. Hitting save. I believe you need to be careful with the length of these tool names, so these scenario names. So when you're naming these scenarios that are used as tools, how many times am I going to say that in this video? You want to make sure that it's not too long. I think there is a character limit. You might run into that issue. And I think you can only use certain characters like underscores, maybe dashes, but I'm pretty sure you can't use any slashes in the name, or maybe a few others. That's going to throw it off. I guess that throws it off with the AI agent and the JSON structure that's passing back and forth. I don't know. It just breaks. So you just want to keep that in mind. With all of that said, we're good to go. So let me go ahead and show you just in real time how this works. So we'll say run once to show you in real time. Going to a contact form, we'll say that my name is Morty Smith, automatewhatdemo@gmail.com. How long does it take to build and launch a project? We'll go ahead and hit submit, and then we'll watch in real time as this agent kicks off and does its thing. So currently it must be going to that finished actually really, really fast. So let's go ahead and take a look at the output first. So the response is, hi Morty, thanks for reaching out with your question. We should see this in our inbox. In fact, if we go over, let me see if we got that email. Let me hit refresh, and that did not work. So I think I know what's going on. It's because I wanted to try out with you guys in real time. I wanted to see if GPT 4.1 Nano could handle this task. Apparently not. Let's go ahead and change the settings from GPT 4.1 Nano to 4.1 Mini, and then hit save and run that one more time, and we should see a successful execution. This is what I mean by you want to start off with a more than capable model. Build it all out entirely. Don't be worried. I understand being worried about using too many AI tokens. Totally get it. GPT 4.1 or 4.0 is a great model to start out with for most use cases. And then once it's all built out, try a cheaper model, scale it back a bit, test it out, give it a few runs, and see if you are getting the same consistent quality outputs, right, without sacrificing on quality. So let's go ahead and try that one more time. submit another response. Again, same question, we'll hit submit and go back to the scenario and watch it kick off and do its thing. So currently this AI agent is accessing all those different tools or different scenarios to do its thing. Let's take a look at the output this time. So perfect. I've sent the email response to Morty Smith informing him the projects are typically completed in 30 business days or less, blah, blah, blah. You can see that the execution steps, these are all of the steps that the AI agent took right here. So probably visiting the FAQs tool and then the send customer email tool, all of that stuff, right? You can see the token usage summary right here. So in total, it used 6,863 tokens. You can see that right here. And for GPT 4.1, what are we using? Mini? GPT 4.1 Mini, I'm pretty sure that should be less than a penny. I'm pretty sure. You can actually see the breakdown of the token usage in detail if you just expand this right here. Now going to our inbox, you can see that we've got, this is right, an email to Morty saying, "Hi Morty, thanks for reaching out with your question. Typically projects at Automate What are completed in 30 business days or less. This timeline allows us to carefully scope, build, and test and launch your automation to ensure everything works seamlessly. If you'd like to discuss your specific project needs or timeline in more detail, feel free to book a 15-minute discovery call with me here." And then I have the link that I provided in my system instructions, right? Because I always want to end these emails in a call to action, not just answering their question and then leaving it to them to decide to take action. I want to kind of prompt them saying, hey, might as well like hop on a 15-minute discovery call. Why don't we do that and talk about this further? And they can schedule that with me there. And then as for the sign off, I always told it to, in responses to customers, always sign off using this signature right here. I'm gonna go ahead and submit another response and we're gonna test it out. This is a question that is not found in my FAQs document right here. So we'll see how the AI agent handles this. Let me make sure that we are running, or so you can say run once, right? Or you can back out of this scenario as an instant trigger. And as long as this is on, we can see it run in real time without having to say run once. So hit submit and then go back here and we should see that this will kick off, do its thing. And let's see what emails we get. Cool, so it did its thing. We should have two emails, one internally and one back to the customer. So let's see what the customer one looks like. So right here, "Dear Summer, thanks for reaching out to us regarding your question about discounts for nonprofits or startups. Currently, we do not have information available about offering discounts specifically for nonprofits or startups." I can already tell that did not handle it properly. It should have gotten back to them saying, hey, your response has been forwarded or something like that to someone internally. They'll be reaching out to you shortly. Let's see if we even got a response in my regular email. So my internal email, let's take a look. So new customer, oh, I guess we did. So new customer inquiry, respond ASAP. Team, a customer named Summer Smith inquired about discounts for nonprofits or startups, blah, blah, blah. This question is not covered in the current FAQs and requires a human follow-up. So that part it did handle. I guess the copy for Summer or the copy for the customer could be a lot better. So instead of saying currently we don't have information available about offering discounts, blah, 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 we could just say, thanks for reaching out to us regarding blah, blah, blah. We notified a team and they'll be in touch with you shortly, right? Instead of saying, sorry, we don't have information, right? It just sounds a little incompetent if that's the best way to say it. Let's go back to my system instructions and see if we can improve those. Number 4, if an appropriate answer is not found, draft an HTML formatted response to the customer informing them that their inquiry has been forwarded to our team. I don't think I can get it more clear than that, to be honest. So maybe it's just a matter of using a more adequate model. So we might need to bump it up to use GPT 4.1 instead of 4.1 mini. So let's bump it up to GPT 4.1 and hit save and try that same response. Do you offer discounts for nonprofits and startups? Let's go back here and watch it kick off, do its thing. And hopefully we should get a better response to the customer with better email copy. Awesome. Let's go take a look and see what we got. So, hi Rick, thank you for reaching out and for your interest in Automate What. We appreciate you asking about discounts for nonprofits or startups. At this time, our frequently asked questions section does not mention any specific discounts. Okay. So again, I can already tell maybe it is a system prompt issue because I specifically state in my system instructions not to mention where you're pulling information from. So, but let's see if it got this part right. So to ensure you get the most accurate and personalized information regarding possible discounts, blah, 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 I forwarded your inquiry to our team and you'll be contacted soon with more details. So it got that part right. It still gave them the link to book a 15-minute discovery call. So the call to action looks good. But let's take a look at our system prompt and make sure that this right here does not show up in our emails to customers. Maybe I can add it to the list of hard rules and don'ts because I know I stated up here somewhere, right? So let's see. Again, number 4, never mention the FAQ or the source of information in your response to the customer. Maybe that's just not clear enough. Maybe I need to, again, I'll copy this down here and then paste this guy on down here, and we'll keep it nice and clean and use the same emoji. So never mention the FAQ or the source of information in your response to the customer. We'll test it one more time and submit that same response one more time. So again, we'll use Morty Smith, hit submit, go back here, and it's gonna do its thing. And we'll take a look at the email and hopefully, fingers crossed, right, it works properly. Cool, going back to our inbox for Morty. So thanks for reaching out to us regarding your question, blah, blah, blah. At this time, our available information does not specify any discounts for nonprofits or startups. However, your inquiry is very important to us, and our team will review your request and get back to you soon with a detailed response. Now, it's better, but it's still stated, or it's still referenced, that our available information does not specify any discounts for nonprofits or startups. I don't want it to specify that. So we got to go back to the system prompt and take a look at it. This is the type of stuff that you're going to be doing back and forth as you're building out these AI agents until you can test it and get consistent results regularly. Okay, so I updated the system prompt just a little bit, right? We're going to test it out with GPT 4.1 with this new system prompt and see if we get a good result. And then we're going to try GPT 4.1 mini and see if we can also get the same quality result. So this is what I changed right here. If an appropriate answer is not found, obviously first draft the HTML formatted response to the customer, informing them that their inquiry has been forwarded to our team. Never mention in the email the FAQ or the source of information in your response to the customer. Never mention in the email that the available information doesn't specify ... or anything similar. Just inform them that their inquiry is very important to us and that they will be contacted soon. Let's hit save and let's see if that updated system prompt works. Again, our AI agent settings, the model is GPT 4.1. We're going to give that a spin and we'll throw in the same question. This time it's to John Smith and the same question. Do you offer discounts for nonprofits or startups? Hit submit, go back to this scenario and we'll watch it kick off, do its thing. We'll take a look at the email response and fingers crossed, it should be good. Okay, so we got this response, it's better. I don't know what's going on here by changing this to purple. I don't know what went wrong. So hi John, thanks for reaching out and for your interest in Automate What. I appreciate your question regarding discounts for nonprofits or startups. At this time, there's no specific information of discounts for nonprofits or startups in our standard offerings. So did it follow our instructions perfectly? No. Am I okay with this being sent out to a customer? Yeah, it's not bad. Your inquiry is very important to us. We've notified, blah, blah, blah. You'll be in contact soon. Let's see if it took care and also notified us internally inside of our email. And it looks like that was the case. So new customer inquiry, respond ASAP, John Smith, automatewhatdemo@gmail.com. Here's the question. No information about discounts for nonprofits or startups was found in the FAQ. Please follow up with the customer directly. Best, Automason. And I have that set for the agent. I'm just calling this AI agent Automason to sign off. So if I want, I can go back and forth between the model, right, and the system prompt, see if I can tweak it a bit more to get consistent results. But let's go ahead and see. I just want to see if GPT 4.1 mini is capable of this. Let me hit save. Let me see if we get a better response with a cheaper model. So let's go ahead and submit another response. It'll be the same. We'll use John Smith again. Hit submit, go back here, watch it do its thing. Cool, so dear John, thank you for reaching out with your question. Currently, we do not have information about offering discounts for nonprofits or startups. So your inquiry is very important to us. Okay, so I got a very similar response with GPT 4.1 and GPT 4.1 mini. Maybe it really is my system prompt and system instructions. I need to be a little more clear in my checklist, in my breakdown of what to do. Going back to my internal email, I did get the internal email saying that we need to respond to John Smith ASAP with all of the correct information there. That's all I have for you guys today with Make AI Agents with this simple use case. If you guys want the templates, the scripts, such as the app script for the Google form, the one that you see right here, all of those other resources that I mentioned throughout this video, I'll have over in my community. So come on over and join us in the Automate What Academy. So this is a growing community. Inside of the classroom, you'll find a start here free resources and some course content to get you started in the right direction if you're new to this stuff in AI automation, as well as a basics course for Make and OpenAI to help kickstart your journey. And you can see all the content right here going over triggers, blueprints, operations in Make, formatting dates and times, routers, filters, all of that stuff explained for you guys. It's a really great place. And then of course, if you want even more content or direct access to me with tech support, all of that stuff, live calendar events, Classroom is more built out here with a Make.com Pro course, OpenAI Pro course, all of my live call recordings, as well as my full template library that you see right here, which have all of the breakdown videos for you guys and all of the resource files and blueprints right here that you can just plug and play. And on top of all of that, I'll give you guys my strategy to monetize this and sell this as a service to businesses and make money. Thanks, guys.